Well, I think some people are going to trickle in, and I don't want to waste any time. So if you want to get started, let's go ahead, or whatever you want to do.
Sounds great. Sounds great.
Yeah.
Well, welcome everyone. It's fantastic to see you here. My name is Anna, and today I'm going to get to play for you six of Telemann's amazing fantasies for solo flute. And I know that at 3 o'clock, I saw on the schedule, there's somebody else playing the Telemann fantasies for flute. So this is actually perfect because the way that we're going to do the fantasies right now is completely different from the way that you've ever heard the fantasies before. I have gotten to work with some collaborators on this, composers, writers, poets, gotten to kind of stretch some creative muscles in a lot of different disciplines here. So it'll be kind of an interesting, unusual rendition of Telemann. And so the way it's going to work is that I'm going to click this slide open, and there will be 6 doors in front of you. And there's a poll set up. And what we're going to do is answer the poll, and that's going to decide which doors we open in which order. And behind each door is a fantasy, each with something a little bit special to it. Some of them are very traditional, and some of them are very not traditional. So there's never been another performance like this one. There will never be another performance like this again. And the way that I kind of came up with this, it was back in Madison, Wisconsin, a few years ago. I really wanted to play the Telemann Fantasies, and our main venue in Madison was a retirement home called Capitol Lakes. And the folks at Capitol Lakes, since they are so close to the university, are constantly serenaded by doctoral students giving lecture recitals and like really amazing musicians. So they're very cultured, very strong ears. And so I decided I wanted to play the fantasies, but I wasn't sure if anyone, even people who are so well attuned to classical music, would be able to sit and listen to an hour and a half worth of Baroque solo flute. So I decided to, play them up a little bit. And the people at the retirement home really loved it. These very sophisticated. Um, and it works really well for them with you. Let's get started. All right. So here are our 6 doors. For the time constraints, we're only going to do 6 fantasies, and some of them I'm going to forego the repeats on some of the longer ones just so we have time to get to everything. But from left to right, top to bottom, it's the wooden door, white door, purple door, red door, nature door, and blue door. So let's go ahead and launch the first poll and see which one we get to do first. Everyone put in your votes. Oh, this is so exciting. Okay. Looks like the nature door has taken a lead. We've got 2 people left, so we'll give you a few more seconds to vote if you'd like to. All right, looks like the nature door has won pretty handily. So let's start by opening up the nature door. Oh, yay, this is so much fun. Okay. So behind the nature door is Fantasies 1/9. And the reason it's 1/9 is that they actually have to go in order because they feature a narration that's written by a very good friend of mine, Ethan Fox, who is an author, a director, and a playwright. And he wrote this very charming narration about a bakery that he worked at in New York City. So I'll get to read Ethan's narration, and then we'll do fantasy number 1. The sun has not yet risen over the horizon of the smoke-powdered mountains. The baker has already been up for an hour, though, prepping for the day. He rolls out the soft dough twice proofed for the cinnamon rolls, his hands light over the pastry. There his son sits on the counter opposite, his ash-blonde hair bobbing up and down as he watches his father. The kid nibbles on a chocolate chip cookie, legs dangling from the height, and he tells his father about his exploits in the river the other day and how many crawfish he'd caught. His father smiles warmly, at peace with the world and the cinnamon dust that perfumes the air. The morning slowly starts to rise with the day as the mixer arrives. Have you seen the sunrise? And the trio takes a break to go and look at the rising sun and smell the piney air. Back inside, the mixer starts tossing in flours and oils, water, yeast, sugar. The heavy mixer whipping the ingredients into a paste, then a dough, springy and light with air. After it proofs, they punch it down to release the carbon gas, one tub at a time. And so the day truly begins, the local youths coming in to make a dime, bleary-eyed and coffee-craved. They lighten the place up, turning and forming the dough as they talk and effortlessly work. These are motions done daily, all to a beat. Charming little narration from Ethan. All right, let's launch the poll again. Which one do we want to do next? Looks like we got some votes for Blue Door coming in. All right. Blue Door it is. Excellent. This one is really, really fun. Oops. Oh, no. What was that? So Blue Door is really interesting. One of the things that I did when I was first doing this project was I asked some of my composer friends to just do something weird with one of the fantasies. And for my friend Matthew Hannes, who's a DMA at UW-Madison, doing something weird with one of the fantasies meant completely rewriting the fantasy. Like, completely. I have other sheet music for it. So he took the principles of the original fantasy and rewrote it in the modern style. So you'll hear some amazing extended techniques in here. He did some pitch alterations, really interesting rhythm and articulation. And I wanted to put his thoughts on this slide so you can kind of read through and see what he was thinking for this fantasy. It's fascinating. If you're familiar with number 4, you're going to hear some of the echoes of the original, but it really does sound different. So enjoy this reimagining. Isn't that cool? I think Telemann would have gotten a real kick out of that. All right. Which one next? All right, looks like Wooden Door is winning so far. All right, awesome. Let's open the Wooden Door. Sounds fantastic. This is another great composer collaboration. This one, also UW-Madison DMA, is by Mong Mong Wang, who is an unbelievable composer. I talk to her and I can't even comprehend the way her mind works. She's so brilliant. But she is not only an amazing composer, she's also very adept with electronic music and electronic tracks. So she has written an electronic track to go along with Fantasy number 3. And she said that this fantasy sounded to her like a lady standing in the rain. So you'll get to hear some of that with her track. Oh, that's so cool. I've played through that so many times and I still think it's so unbelievably cool. All right, well, we're about halfway through here. 3 out of the 6. Anybody have any questions or comments so far? All right, well, in that case, let's keep going. Let's open up the poll again. What do we want to do for Fantasy 4? I see someone's really adamant about the purple door. It's like the first one hit all the time. Looks like other people are also adamant about the purple door. Okay, perfect. Let's do the purple door. So for the purple door, we actually get to open up another poll. So behind these 3 doors is a style. Depending on which door we choose, we get to play this fantasy in a different style. So let's go ahead and open up that second poll. If we've got it. Perfect. All right, put in your votes for the style door. Oh, it's a 3-way tie, all right? Oh, it's close. It looks like Ornate and Rainbow are tied. So I'm gonna have to break the tie. I'm gonna go for the rainbow one. That's awesome. I did not expect that to happen. That's super cool. Okay, so I'm gonna break the tie and go for the rainbow one because the rainbow one is super, super fun. We'll do it jazz and blues style. And when I played this at the retirement home, this was the one that they were clamoring for the entire time. They were like, play the jazz and blues style. I'm like, you gotta roll it. You gotta open the door. And they ended up not getting to hear it till the very end. So, fantasy number 6, jazz and blues style. I think Telemann would have been into jazz. Telemann had so many interesting things to say with harmony. I think he would be into jazz. All right. Our last two fantasies. All right, it's very close between white and red. Red's pulling ahead. All right, I think it's red. Let's do red. The red door is really like fasten your seatbelts. This one's really, really remarkable. It's a collaboration with a very good friend of mine, Rose Klein. She actually was just accepted to UC Santa Cruz to study game design, but she's an amazing, amazing poet as well. And when we did this live, she read her poem with me. And when we switched over to the virtual format, she recorded herself and added this amazing train footage. Her poem is set in New York City. So if you're in New York City, you'll probably recognize some of the train stops that she uses in her video. This poem is just spectacular. It is so gorgeous. I get chills every single time I listen to it. So enjoy this unbelievable poem with fantasy number 2 by Rose. I'll get full screen going here.
There were 3 times she felt that way in the entire week. But they all looked the same. They all sounded the same. They all felt the same. She wasn't sure if that was a good thing, or if it made it more sad that those were the only 3. They looked like that friend whose name you just can't remember. Like the window with red curtains, drawn only halfway over, crimson light spilling into the room. They sounded like the feeling of paper ripping in your hands, like when you were younger, and you would have underwater tea parties at the bottoms of pools, the echoes stretching out to reach you, muddled in jello. They tasted like sea-swept hair, billowing gleefully in the wind, like the feeling after the fight. Numbness in the eyes, the salt of tears shed too soon. At first, it was silent, but staying made everything loud. And now the only pauses are those moments in between. No. Can we not do this right now? No. Can we not do this right now? Dear. Not today. What are you saying? Not now. She breathes. She is just a mother now. The sounds of the city around her allowed to fade into the background, a welling in the eyes, hope pressed from those who don't love her. Somehow she is stronger than family thrown aside. A track ahead comes crashing together, wrought of metal, guilt, and pain, the thundering of scaled steel train wheels, a screeching in the tunnels. She stands and wonders, searching for the child in her mind's eye. What would have been if she had left? More quiet moments? Less time alone? Pausing. Are those moments in between enough? No time. Come along, dear.
Uptown, Q from Astor Street to Times Square. Transfer at Times Square to Uptown 1, Times Square to 116th Street. Downtown 116th Street to Columbus Circle. Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Park players recite Shakespeare, and the only thing keeping me from them, keeping me from the edge of thought, is you. The quiet is peaceful. The more I listen, but you fill the silence fashioned by your fingertips, sand spilling from your red hair as crimson light from the window. You give me innumerable sounds, paper and pen and crayon and pastel firmly etched into the walls of this temporary home. The butterflies perch on your lashes, even though they never fly here. And each museum trip sees you begging for ice cream to appear in your dirt-covered hands. It's fleeting, really. You're already too old. Just like my mother. She always said that. flowers need water, though. I could find some for you. But you still must follow me to it. So let's go. Let's go.
8th. Bound. Closing. 125th. Clear. Uptown. Grand. Downtown. Central. Stand. At 110th.
She hears an echo of sun and singing under the auspice of that dull building, just singing.
14th.
These tracks used to be new, but gradually she is worn down, becoming part of the tapestry for others to gaze at, and soon he will too.
History. NYU.
She has no memories without this. So they say staying dulled the edges. Warmth and sound are often together. Separation is the flange of train wheels, only for emergencies.
110th.
Though still, she can't help but feel this. Nostalgia for a calm she's never known. A quiet sentimentality.
Astor Street. Astor Street. Astor Place.
Mom!
Doors, please.
I always need just a second of silence after that one. Amazing. Spectacular. I think so. I hope you think so too. All right. We've got one more door to open today, and it's the white one. And I just see Beverly's comment that she found the jazzy version very interesting. She's looking at a copy that used to belong to a friend who passed away a few years ago. Her music is marked in the first movement, especially with the same articulations and glissandos. Oh, how neat! How neat! That's so wonderful. It's amazing how universal these things can be, like musical instinct and musical thought. It's incredible how universal they can be. Thanks for sharing, Beverly. All right, so let's open up our final door, and we get to do fantasy number 9 and finish off Ethan's narration. It works out perfectly. We start off with Ethan's story, we get to finish with Ethan's story. And after we play fantasy number 9, I'd love to open up the floor to questions, comments, even if that question is, why would you ever do this? So let's finish off with Ethan's beautiful story about the baker and enjoy fantasy number 9. The first pastries of the morning are ready for the oven. It squeaks and steams as it's opened by the baker, the heat palpable on the glass. And the pastries all go in, impatient to bake into edible goodness. The formers all take a break, grabbing more coffee and sitting around the cafe area to rest their weary legs. And one of them starts a story. Down by the river yesterday, as I went walking down the steep loops, I ran across some kids playing cowboy. Pew, 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 they'd shriek at their parents, older and more terrain-torn from life. They reveled in their youth, unaware of the stagnation of age. And as I walked towards them, one of them yelled out, "Hey, wait, partner! Can I call you partner? Yes, can I call you partner? Yes!" A mutual trust of young children. A passerby. And they stood at attention as I crossed, nodding their heads as if nothing was the matter. Howdy. I tilted my head to allow their fantasy to continue. And so it did. As soon as I passed, they went back to their game, much to the annoyance of their parents. And back to work. All right, well, that concludes our 6 fantasies, everyone. I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts, your questions, comments. Let's open up the floor a little bit. I know we've got like 5-ish minutes. So let's open it up. What'd you think? Interesting to hear Telemann this way? Weird to hear Telemann this way?
I really enjoyed the fantasy number 2 with the poem. The poetry really went along with the line of the music. It was great.
Oh yeah, isn't that spectacular? She really, really outdid herself on that one. Just spectacular poetry. Oh, Jane, publishing them? I can ask my collaborators about it. Absolutely. Completely honestly, I'm improvising the jazz version of number 6. So nothing to publish there, I'm afraid. The writing, I might be able to collaborate and ask my collaborators about that to see if they would be open to releasing their work. Oh, I'm so glad you enjoyed it, Rebecca. I actually did not pay my friends for commissions. They are kind enough to want to work with me. I'm very fortunate to get to work with a lot of amazing artists, and we get to work with each other in a lot of different aspects. Oh, good, Beverly. Yeah. I agree with you. It's tough even for flutists to listen to like an hour and a half worth of Baroque flute music, but like doing the collaborations and listening to the stories that other people write really does kind of open up the idea of telling a story. And it might open you up to thinking about it in a completely different way. Like the lady standing in a rain, Mong Mong's electronic track, I never would have thought of that, but it really fits. So it's neat. I'm really glad you enjoyed it. Oh yeah, percussion and bass would be really cool, Inez, yeah. With the jazz version, that would be really, really neat. And I know Mong Mong wanted to maybe write another electronic track for number 10, so I'm gonna like nudge her a little bit and see if she's still able to do that.
Great.
I hear some music in the background.
I don't know that. Thank you so much, Anna, for taking the time today to share this project with us. It was very interesting and very well put together. So thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. It was great to be able to play for you, and enjoy the rest of the festival.
Thank you. Everyone have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you all.
Bye-bye.